Hello, my name is Tara Springett. I'm a Buddhist teacher and a qualified psychotherapist, and I have specialized in Kundalini syndrome treatment. And today I would like to give you some very general guidelines on how to dealing with Kundalini problems. The Kundalini, before I go into detail, I just want to say that I myself have been in the Kundalini process for nearly 30 years, and that I have experienced many of these problems myself. The Kundalini process generally is a very individual process and needs individual attention. Nevertheless, there are some general guidelines that you can follow. And the first thing that I would like to point out is that it's very important to slow down spiritual practice. Sometimes that is difficult because we are attached to this practice and we hope that they will solve our problems. But in reality, when Kundalini is present, it will just fuel the symptoms. And so that is why it is important to kind of slow them right down or discontinue them for a little while until you feel more grounded and more yourself again. Instead of lots of meditation or spiritual reading or prayer, you could just go for a walk or do some gardening if you have the possibility, or go to some nice nature setting. It is particularly important to discontinue any kind of breathing exercises and also any kind of energy work like Reiki or Qigong or things like that, because they will particularly badly aggravate you when you are in the Kundalini process. The second advice that I would like to give you is to focus more on loving kindness. So have love and kindness and compassion for yourself. Be very kind to yourself, like a very loving mother. Don't have any kind of self-loathing or self-criticism. And also be kind and loving to others. Forgive those who have hurt you. Let go from old grudges, old grievances. Love is, so to speak, there's power and there's love. And when we have too much power, too much Kundalini, then if we then raise our love to that level, what it does, it uses the power that we have here and it kind of spreads it out. That is what love does. It alleviates the situation. It's like a balm. So you can't go wrong in doing loving kindness meditation. Another advice that I would like to give you is to use the anti-anxiety breathing technique, which I will just very quickly summarize here. There's more detail in one of my books or in one of my other videos. In the anti-anxiety breathing techniques, we slow our breathing right down, make it very calm. We don't breathe in deeply. We have a very long out breath. We have a break at the end of the out breath, and we relax the part of our body in which we hold the anxiety. And doing that will calm you down. I've done that with hundreds of people and clients, and it always works. It's a foolproof method. It always gets rid of the anxiety. And another very important thing that we can do is to practice witness consciousness. And what that means is that we observe of what is going on within our mind and our body, rather than to identify with all that turmoil and being swept away by it. So that's quite similar to kind of seeing whatever's going on in our mind, like on a big cinema screen, and we ourselves, we are the audience. We just watch, we observe, we don't get involved. And so this kind of witness consciousness needs to be practiced, and so that we don't get swept away by all these weird and wonderful things that might happen in the Kundalini process. And it is also good to have and nurture a devotional relationship to a spiritual teacher and to our higher power. Kundalini teaches us humility. It helps us in a way to say, my search for independence is not healthy. I need others, I need to be humble, I need to ask for help. The more willingly we can do that, the more quickly help will come to us. And the help is there, we just need to ask for it, and that's important that we do that. On the same token, it is important that if we don't have a spiritual community, that we try to find one, or go back to the spiritual community in which we were before. I've had a number of clients who went to a meditation retreat in a new spiritual community and then had a Kundalini awakening and then thought, oh no, I'm never going back to this community. That is not really a good idea. We need friends, we need companions, and we need also a spiritual place. Kundalini is kind of trying to turn us towards spirituality. And for that reason, it is important to kind of go with the flow and find a place in which we feel at home. And another important aspect of the Kundalini process that helps to make all this easier is to be quite willing to explore our unconscious mind. Because what Kundalini does, it brings up stuff from our Kundalini, from our unconscious mind. And if we resist that process, then we will be repressing ourselves, and that is where all the physical Kundalini symptoms come from. They are very similar to psychosomatic symptoms, and in order to stop or prevent this from happening, it is important to really be open to see ourselves, maybe also see parts of ourselves that we don't like so much, that are embarrassing, and to be willing to see ourselves for who we are and not shy away from that. On the same token, we should proactively deal with conflicts with other people, not try to push things under the carpet. Kundalini is a kind of urge to kind of be more honest, more true, more genuine, and stop wearing a mask, pretending that we don't have needs, or that we don't mind if people say nasty things to us, or that we're completely independent. All these ego defenses will fall away in the Kundalini process, and the more willingly we go along with this process, the easier it will be. Then make your diet and sleep pattern as healthy as possible. I think that's a very common sense advice. It's important to get enough sleep. If you can't sleep, go to bed, just rest, and give yourself a good relaxation time, and eat healthily. Don't drink too much, don't take drugs. It's very important. And in that way you can alleviate a lot of negative symptoms in the Kundalini process. Spend much time in nature, walking, gardening, doing gentle things, and if you can, also reduce your workload. So if you like the video, please share it, like it, leave a comment. I would like that very much. If you want to know more detailed advice about how to deal with the Kundalini, there's a link here that goes right to my book, Enlightenment Through the Path of Kundalini, that you can have a look at. There's a lot of detailed advice in it, and if you want to subscribe my channel, you can do it on the link over there. Thank you for listening. Bye.